Hello warriors, hope you're all doing amazing. I'm Tabish Hassan, a chartered accountant, all India ranker, international speaker, your friend, brother and guide. And in this video, we'll be discussing ABC analysis of CA into costing. We'll be discussing the top 7 chapters which will cover almost 80 marks of costing. We'll also be discussing how to prepare a schedule and utilize the 1.5 days before examination. We'll also be discussing few exam hall tips so that we can help you maximize your marks in costing. I hope your law exams went exceedingly well and you're all charged up for costing. Okay, it may not have gone as expected for some of you guys, but you've given your best, right? That's what matters. Irrespective of whether the exams went well or it did not go the way you expected, just tell yourself, I've worked hard over the past 1 year to reach till here. I've given my best in the first 2 papers. Now it is out of my control. I get good marks, I don't get good marks. I don't have any control over that. But I have control over my balance papers. And I will ensure that I'll give my best in the 2 balance papers. Just close your eyes and tell this to yourself. You'll feel light and energized and will be focused to look at the balance 2 papers. So firstly, let us have a look at ABC analysis for costing. Firstly, we have the A+ category. These are the most important chapters from the exam perspective. We have activity-based costing, which comes for approximately 10 marks. We have cost sheet, approximately 10 marks. Process costing, 9 marks on an average. Standard costing, 10 marks. Marginal costing, 11 marks. Theory chapters, 20 marks. And service costing, again 10 marks. So we have 7 chapters which cover 80 marks. 7 chapters covering 80 marks. The most important chapters. We need to prioritize these chapters and look at every concept, every problem, every adjustment from these chapters. In theory, out of the 20 marks, generally 3 questions, that is 15-mark question, will be coming from the chapter Introduction, Material, Labor, and Budgetary Control. So, firstly, let us try to cover these chapters in detail. That will be our first objective. Then we have A category chapters, Material, Labor, Overheads. 3 chapters on an average cover 24 to 25 marks. So, even if we just have a look at A+ and A category chapters, these 10 chapters will be covering somewhere around 100 to 105 marks in the examination. So these 10 chapters are the most important and will be our top priority. Then we have the B and the C category chapters. We have cost accounting system, 6 marks. Contract costing, job costing, batch costing, 6 marks. Budgetary control, 6 marks. Unit costing, batch costing, 4 marks. Joint product, byproduct, 4 marks. So these 5 chapters on an average cover 25 to 26 marks. So these chapters will be falling in the B and C category chapter. We will look at these chapters after thoroughly looking at A+ and A category chapters. And if the time is short, for these chapters, we may only look at the most important topics. Say for example, in cost accounting system, non-integrated accounts and reconciliation are very important. They fall into top 80%. In contract costing, job costing, contract account preparation, that is very important and frequently asked. In budgetary control, flexible budget, functional budgets are very important. In case of unit costing, batch costing, EBQ calculation is very important. In case of joint product, byproduct, methods for apportionment of joint cost, that is what is generally asked. So in these 5 chapters, if we are falling short of the time, we will focus only on these areas. All in all, in A+ category, we have 7 chapters which are covering 80 marks. Then we have the A category, that is 3 chapters covering 20 to 25 marks. So A+ and A category, these 2 category chapters, 10 chapters covering 100 marks will be our topmost priority. Now, the resources for the last day revision. We've made so many resources available to help you guys in your last day revision. Firstly, we have the marathon revision. We have covered the entire CA into costing in just 6 hours so that students can revise it thoroughly on the day before exams. Revision is uploaded in 3 parts of 2 hours each. Revision is in English language. Again, in the revision, along with the concepts, some tricky adjustments or areas where students generally make a mistake, that is also highlighted and discussed so that we don't commit those mistakes in the examination. If you have not checked those marathon lectures, go check it now. Believe me, it will boost your preparation and give you immense confidence. Next, we have the top 100 practical questions for the last day. We have shared a PDF file containing the top 100 practical questions which students need to see on the day before exams. This PDF file is shared in the Telegram group Think with Tabish. Link is already given in the description. Questions are taken from the study material. Questions we have selected in such a way that in these 100 questions, all concepts, every tricky adjustment, every confusing area is covered. So if you're confused on what questions to refer on the day before examination, do refer these questions. They'll be very handy for you guys. Next, we have a theory question booklet. So we've shared this theory question booklet wherein all theory questions are shared. The PDF file of the same is available. The presentation of answers is in the way it is given in the suggested answers so that we can look at the same and maximize our marks in the examination. You can use it to maximize your marks in theory. Believe me, theory is very scoring when it comes to costing. Next, we also have a WhatsApp group for doubt solving. Students may be having so many doubts in the 1.5 day before examination. And we don't want any doubts or uncertainties to take away your attempt. We've created a separate WhatsApp group wherein students can ask their doubts and I'll be responding to the doubts on a real-time basis. For the next 2 days, I've set aside everything in my schedule so I can be fully available to help you guys ace the exams. Link of the costing marathon revision, PDF files and WhatsApp group is given in the description. You guys can have a look at it from there. Now, the next area, 1.5 days study plan. How should we utilize these 1.5 days before examination? Again, we are going to begin with the most important chapters so that if at all we need to sacrifice anything due to paucity of time, we sacrifice only the B and C category chapters, not the A plus and A category. If I were a student, how would my timetable be? That is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Firstly, on 8th December, that is immediately after law exams. Immediately after the exams, we'll all be tired. So I would take a small nap after the exam. Immediately after that, go for a small walk so that I'll be fresh, take a shower and be ready for the study at 8 p.m. Then 8 to 11 p.m. I would try revising material, labor, overheads. 3 easy chapters, simple chapters, and these 3 chapters cover 25 marks as well. Then I would take a good sleep for probably 7 to 8 hours. And next day, that is 9th December, the entire day I would split between 4 study sessions. Before breakfast, after breakfast and before lunch, evening and after dinner. So next day, the first study session, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I will try covering activity-based costing, cost sheet, process costing, and from theory, I will try to look at the introduction chapter. Almost 30 marks covered in 3 hours. Then I'll try taking a small break. Next, we have the second study session. That is from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. I'll try covering service costing, standard costing, marginal costing, and in theory, material, labor, and overheads. So by afternoon, all the A plus and A category chapters are done. Now, evening, probably say 4:30 to 7:30. I will try covering all the B and C category chapters. And in theory, I'll try looking at budgetary control chapter. Again, take a small break, go for a walk, have dinner, and probably at night, that is 8:30 to 11 p.m. By now, all chapters would be over. Only few theory chapters would be pending. I'll try covering those and go to sleep early. Again, if any chapters could not be done or there is a backlog, I will try doing them now. So I have a buffer time to keep. So in the 1.5 days, we have revised the entire costing. Again, we have the exam day as well. So on the exam day, I will try to have a super fast revision of costing one more time. That is a super fast revision of all the formulas and formats, all the important theory questions, any tricky or confusing practical questions. So what I would do is in these 1.5 days, every area you're not comfortable, Yes, we can make a small note in a rough page so that on the exam day, we look at those things before going to the examination. So that if anything comes from that, we are all aware and we are all charged up to do that. Yes. Next, we have the exam hall tips. I've already shared exam hall tips in a separate video, which is relevant for all the exams. Again, sharing only a few important points here as well. Firstly, find that one comfortable question. How well we score depends on the first question we choose for the exams. A good first question gives us the confidence to attempt the exam well. So find that one comfortable question and begin with that question. Next, attempt for 100 marks. Attempting for 100 marks increases our probability of passing and getting an exemption. So attempt for 100 marks. Take a watch and know the golden rule. For every mark, 1.8 minutes. That is 35 minutes for a 20-mark question. Use this mental equation to solve the question and continuously keep a track of the time. Next, focus on the presentation. Start a new question in a new page. Give all the relevant working notes. Show all the assumptions. Highlight all the main answers. Literally spoon feed the examiner. Remember, the easier it is for the examiner to track our answers, higher will be the marks. So focus on presentation. Next, read the question completely. Sometimes in costing, it may happen that question is asking us something else, but we are answering something else. So read the question carefully and understand what area this question is from. What is the specific requirement of the question? And while we are reading the question, start from the last line. Start from what is required and then read the question, so that we will be aware of what is required and then accordingly look at the data. Bounces are expected. Let us just admit it. There is going to be one out of the box question in every paper. It will be there because it is supposed to be there. Don't worry about those questions. In an over, we may be having one or maximum two bounces. What will a batsman do? Just ignore them, right? Focus on the remaining balls. Similarly, out of the 6 questions, one question or maximum 2 questions will be slightly new or out of the box. Don't worry about them. We have 4 easy questions. Firstly, try attempting properly for those 4 easy questions, that is 80 marks. And then pick up any of those questions and just write whatever below. In every paper, we have at least 80 marks of questions from similar areas. Focus on these. The final point and the most important, stay calm. Stay calm. It is just an exam. It doesn't decide our future. It doesn't decide if you are a winner or not. It doesn't decide our life. It is just an exam. Tell this to yourself and stay calm. Trust yourself. You know more than you think you know. We've all worked hard. We've all prepared. We are all exam ready. It is just the nervousness before the exams. That's all. We are already geared up to rock our exams. Remember, the person who cracks the exam isn't the smartest or the wisest. It is ultimately the person who stays calm during exams and focuses on what is comfortable. Give your best. Don't take any pressure. Remember, it is just an exam. All the very best for your exams. See you on the other side.